over to Alicia. Okay. So, welcome everyone. Um, Before I begin, again, we're going to be recording this presentation. It is currently being recorded. Both the Spanish and the English audio will be available for you to have access, and the slides will also be available for you to have after this presentation. Thank you everyone for joining in to CANVA for Entrepreneurs, elevating your brand with
More too,
design.
because this is an hour.
Okay. So for this presentation, we're going to go over tips and tricks on how Canva can elevate your brand presence. And if you can, please keep yourself muted so that we are not going to disturb and for others to be able to hear.
Throw away your notebook. Everywhere that I wrote the CIELO.
And then one last time, if you want to hear the presentation in
Okay, so this
Spanish,
one no one likes you
a link
besides
to
me
the
and
audio.
Wendy.
Can we, David, can you mute? Okay, there we go. I went ahead and muted them. Okay, let me mute. Okay, thank you. I'm running into some tech difficulties, sorry. Okay, so hi everyone, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Joanna Perez Herrera. I'm the Development and Communications Coordinator, and my pronouns are she, her. Again, thank you so much for joining into this Canva workshop. We also have with us today Alicia Ramirez. She is going to be our Spanish interpreter. Here's her contact information if you seek to contact her for her services. She's an amazing translator. And you'll also have the presentation slides at the end, so you'll have her contact information with you. In case that her room is full, we also have Jessica Escalante, our Director of Childcare Business Incubator, doing the Spanish translation. So if you need help with that, please go ahead and send us a DM so that we can support you. Okay, and so for the agenda, first we're going to go over our Canva introduction. So we're going to do just an, yes, Lisa? Oh, sorry.
That was an accident.
No worries, no worries. So we're gonna go ahead and do an overview of what Canva is, and then just go into details on how CIELO leverages Canva. Then we're gonna go into the tips and tricks on how to navigate Canva and some of the features that it offers. Then we're actually gonna go ahead and create a design using Canva. So if you have the time, please access your Canva account, and we're gonna go ahead and get like our hands on. Last, we're gonna go into a Q&A section. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to go ahead and use the raise hand feature, and we can answer the questions throughout the presentation. But also, we're gonna have a section at the end, so your questions can wait. We can do that as well. And lastly, we're gonna go ahead and do a raffle for a 1-year paid subscription to Canva Pro. And we're gonna have one lucky winner. So thank you all for joining. You're all eligible because you're here. We're really, really excited to be able to share that with you. Okay, so to start off, what is Canva? So Canva is a graphic design platform that allows users to create documents, flyers, media posters, and it provides an easy to use like interface. So you don't have to have prior knowledge working with graphic design to be able to work with Canva. It is very user friendly. And it has a lot of elements that creates like professional looking designs. And it's very popular among like individuals, organizations, businesses, educators. So Canva is free. There is a free version. It has limitations with the free version, and then there's also the pro version. That's actually a typo. I was supposed to go back and change that typo. It's actually $14.99 a month. And I'll make sure that that typo is reflected once you do receive the presentations towards the end, or $119.99 for the year. Yes, it does come at a cost to have the pro version, but you have access to a lot of features and it is an investment for your small business. And if you are a nonprofit, all registered nonprofits do access the pro version for free. Here I provided the QR code if you want to go ahead and scan it, and you can start like looking at Canva or exploring what it looks like. Again, if you want, you can create an account because we will be doing like more of a hands-on approach towards the very end. But that's a little overview of what Canva is. And also Canva, originally it is in English, but you can always change the language. So it's in Spanish and Chinese. It's in different languages for you to be able to use it in your preferred language. Okay, so how does CIELO use Canva? First, we create our brand kit, and I'll be able to show you a little bit later on kind of what that looks like. But we are able to upload all of our logos, upload all of our color palette, our preferred fonts, our brand voice, photos, and graphics. And this allows us to efficiently create designs, and it makes it so much easier. Like it doesn't take that long because we have everything ready to use. And it also standardizes like our brand guidelines. And then this way, whenever we post anything or we share our flyers, people have brand recognition. So everything is uniform. Like once you see a flyer from us, you'll know, yes, that is CIELO. And as a small business, you want to be able to create that brand recognition for yourself and your business. And so if you visit our social media, these are like our latest posts, and all of these posts were created directly on Canva. Either they were pre-designed templates that Canva has available, or they were generated via AI. And I'm also going to show you how you can leverage AI to help support your small business. Or they were created from scratch. Some of these were blanks. They were blank, and then I went ahead and had like a vision, and I was able to create my vision through Canva. We also create most of our flyers um on Canva. So this is the one for this specific workshop, and it was created via Canva. So it's to show you how versatile like the platform can be. We also use Canva to create all of our QR codes that we share with our community. And for your small business, you can create your QR code that will, when you're doing a pop-up market, it'll take them directly to your website, take them directly to your your shopping link, so that it facilitates that buyer to user experience. And again, to just kind of show like how versatile Canva can be, we have also created our certificates. This presentation that I'm showing right now was created via Canva, and it was a pre-made design that I went in. I changed the colors to our brand coloring to again make it um, to create that brand recognition that CIELO has. And we've created headers that we use like on our MailChimp or an Eventbrite. So it's just to show like how much you can do with Canva. And so now for like the important part, like how can your small business use Canva? And I would say like there are endless possibilities. Here are some that I've listed. There's logos, business cards, labels and packaging, menus, banners. You can make videos on Canva. You can really do anything on Canva, and you can do anything with the free version. And the pro does give you even more ability to create. But even the free version is like very easy and user friendly. So if you don't have a Canva account, I highly, highly recommend that you do create one for your small business. And here are some examples of like templates that you can just access that are ready to make, and you can just adapt to your own. So you can go ahead and change like the coloring. If you have a specific font that you use, you can go in and change that font. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can access them. So if you, okay. Again, sorry. I want to be able to go back and forth between Canva. So let me just stop sharing my screen really quickly. Okay. Okay, so we're back. So if you go on to here, you can just look up templates and say you want to work on an invoice. You'll be able to find like an endless possibility of invoice templates, or you can always start like blank and create your own. So that's like really easy. Okay, and then let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so yeah, as I was mentioning, these are some examples of pre-made templates that you can access that can be used for your small business. And so now for like the more exciting and like fun part, we're gonna go ahead and get into the tips and tricks for Canva. Again, I'm gonna be going back and forth between sharing my presentation and sharing like the Canva interface because that's like the easiest way for me to showcase the features on Canva. So again, let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen because okay, right here actually. Okay, perfect. So first we're gonna go and explore applications on Canva. So Canva has so many different applications that you can use and you can leverage for your small business. But these are three that I want to kind of showcase and show you that you can use. So here the way that you're going to access applications, you're gonna go to the sidebar where it says design, elements, text, brand, and sometimes you have to like scroll more or scroll less, but you can just, for mine, it's here, so I don't have to scroll as much. So you're gonna click on apps and you're gonna search up whichever application you want to work with. I highly recommend that once you have an Canva, you go ahead and you go and look through all of the different applications that are available and then you choose which ones are going to help your small business. So we're going to look up type gradient. And what this application is going to do, it's going to create text with a gradient effect. And this is like if you want that effect, if you're making like a poster. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna paste your text on here, and then we're gonna use the example of entrepreneur. You can go to fonts and you can change fonts to however you may want or desire. Again, you want that brand recognition, you want to go back and choose specific fonts that work with your brand. You can change the alignment, you can change the height of the text. And here you'll be able to check, you'll be able to select different colors. So we can change the colors however we want by moving it around. And here you'll see now those colors are reflected on the word. And with this circle right here, you'll be able to change what that gradient looks like. And I think it's a pretty neat feature that you can leverage for your small business. Another feature that can be used, we know we want to be inclusive and try to reach as many communities as possible. So there, Canva does have a translation feature, and you'll be able to find the translation feature up on this dashboard. It says resize and magic switch. So once you click there, you'll be able to find the feature that says translate. And here you can translate this entire presentation in Spanish, or you can choose specific pages that you want to translate in Spanish or into a different language. They have a lot of different versions of different languages available that you can use to go ahead and translate. So say I just want to translate a current page. So current page is going to be 16. But again, you can do all pages and it'll translate every page in this presentation. If we make that box, if we unclick it, it's going to create a copy of page 16. But if we click it, it's going to translate all of our terms from English to Spanish in this presentation. I'm not going to go ahead and do that because we don't really need to, and I have the Spanish translations available already, but just know that that is an option for you and it'll cut your time. Again, this translation is AI generated, so it won't be as accurate as it would be if it's coming from a Spanish translator. So you will have to go in and make some edits and some adjustments. but it'll make your job and your work a lot less. And then another one that is just really exciting for me, and I think it's like a great feature, is called the Smart Mockup. So here are some examples of the ones that are up here, but I'm going to show you that there's even more. So again, you're going to go on to apps, you're going to look up mockups, and different versions of them are going to come up. I like to work with this one right here, and it's gonna show me different mockups that I can put like my logo, or if I have a specific design that I want to use, and that way I can just utilize that instead of having to pay for those mockups, because we do know that that comes at a cost. So I chose the sweater and then the mug, and so all you have to do is insert your image. I'm going to go ahead and use our logo. So I'm going to insert our logo into that mockup. You just drag it over, and there you have your logo on that t-shirt. And then for the mug, I'm going to show you. Okay, I want to do this one. So I just again drag it over, and it's going to appear on the mug. And I think that that's like a really good feature for like small business owners to leverage and to use. And again, this feature comes with the pro version, so you do have to pay the $14.99, but it's a good feature to have. Now we're gonna go on to AI tools. And again, it's important to note that AI is not 100% accurate, but you can still leverage it, use it for inspiration for your small business. The more you work with it, the smarter it'll get. And Canva also has, like, when it generates outputs for you, you can put this was not accurate at all, and it'll allow Canva to then make sure that it creates more accurate results. So some of those AI tools that are available, one of them is the Magic Studio. And the way you're going to access Magic Studio is by clicking on your image. So you'll click on your image, and you're going to go over to Edit Photo. So once you click Edit Photo, you'll be able to access the Magic Studio that is right here. And some of these are the 6 features that are available. One of them is a background remover. So it'll remove your background from any image that you have. And I think, when you're taking a picture of your product and you don't like the background you liked, you can put it onto a new backdrop, or you can keep it floating by itself. And again, you can undo that feature by clicking the undo button. There's also a magic eraser. So say you have your product, but there's like stuff in the background that came out in the picture, or maybe you didn't like that you sewed something. So you can go ahead and use the magic eraser and erase directly on the image, and it'll go ahead and do that. So that's in the magic eraser. And I forgot to mention this item right here is actually from one of our small business owners. They are from Little Starry Things. They crochet a lot of different like little animals and mushrooms. It's super, super cute. So if you're interested in checking out their page, the QR code will lead you to their Instagram, and then you can check out their work. I highly recommend it. It's very cute. I own a little octopus. And then there's also Magic Expand. I'm not gonna do that one because that one sometimes messes with the presentation, but it'll expand your picture into bigger than what it currently is. And then there's Magic Edit, which I think again is it's a pretty cool feature. So say you have this crochet item that you created, and you also created it in blue, but you were unable to take a picture of it. So you're gonna go on to Edit Photo, you're gonna do Magic Edit, and then what you're going to do is you're going to brush over the area that you want to edit. And the more accurate you are, the better results are going to get. I'm not going to be as accurate right now for the sake of the presentation, but I'm going to show you that if I go ahead and brush over the piggy, and then you can change the brush size, which I'm going to go ahead and do so that it makes this faster. So you brush over it, and then you describe your edit. So we said change the color to blue. It'll also give you inspirations, like I mentioned, like look like a marble, So this is going to be your input and your prompt that you're going to put in, and then you'd put generate. It's going to make the pig into that input that you created. And let's give it a couple seconds. So it'll create and it'll change it into different colors. And then you'll see some are better than others. Like this one is pretty good. Versus this one is not as good, but you can also generate new results and it'll continue to improve on the results that it generates. And so we're going to go back and undo that. Okay. It's not undoing right now. I've been playing with this presentation all day, so I might be a, a little tired, but it's okay. So we'll just keep it like that. Another feature is the magic wrap, which I think is also really cool. It'll detach the product from your background. So say you didn't like this picture, you didn't like how the product was sitting, but you did like how your background looked, and you want to go ahead and put another product onto that background. It will also do that. So you can do that as well. And then we're going to go ahead and use this image for the last Magic Studio, which is grab text. So if you click on it, say you have a picture and you didn't keep the original, or you found the picture online and you really like the background, but it has some words on it and you don't like the words, or you want to edit the words and adapt it to, your own, you can put grab text and it'll like remove all of those, all of the text that is on that image. And then for Magic Write, say we have text right here that you can see. If you click on Magic Write, it'll fix the spelling, it'll change the spelling to more fun, it'll rewrite it, it'll summarize it. So again, this is another neat feature that Canva offers. You don't have to go onto a different platform to be able to edit text. It's not just for graphics. And then for the last effect, there's the FX Studio, which you can find if you scroll down. There's shadows, there's autofocus, face touch, blur, duotone. I can show you what the blur looks like. So we lost our piggy because I was working on it, but it'll like it'll blur out. So say you just wanted to focus on the pig and you didn't want the background, you can blur out the background using this feature. And then one last AI tool that I wanted to showcase is called the Magic Media. And you'll be able to find Magic Media again on apps, looking up Magic Media, and it'll come here. Again, I was working with this earlier, but this is again AI generated, and it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it can be used as a form of inspiration. You can maybe you like the results, you like the colors, and you can be as detailed or not detailed when creating your input. So right here, our example is going to be, please design a logo tailored for a car, detailing enterprise name Junior's Detailing. Please ensure the design reflects professionalism, automotive themes, and incorporates the initials Junior prominently. So I made it that detailed. You can even go further and add color. Maybe you want a specific item in the picture, or maybe you want less so that it'll generate more generic logos. You can, so we're going to go ahead and copy it and then put it on here. And then let me go ahead and remove the example. There's also different styles that you can play with. So you can do no style, which will just generate automatically any that AI recognizes, or maybe you want a moody, minimalistic, neon. I really like neon, so we're gonna try neon for this. And then we're gonna go ahead and generate that. Also noting, if your input is in Spanish or a different language, Canva will recognize it and it will still generate whatever input you feed into the system. So these are some of the logos that through my input it was able to generate, which would be called our outputs. And I wanted to also share that your input that you create, so the text that I fed into the system, is your property, as well as the output that is created. So these images right here, are also my property. But because they are created via Canva, they do belong to Canva and they can use them within their platform, but they cannot do any of the copyrights infringement on you. So you're good to go ahead and use it commercially. And as I was mentioned, this is not as accurate as possible. It didn't spell detailing correctly. What you can do is, again, take this to a graphic designer and be like, I really like this. Can you fix this for me? Or you can always do the grab text and it'll take the text. You can play with the fonts around and the background will be there. So then you can edit it and whatnot. So it's a cool feature to be able to utilize. Moving forward, um, yes, Canva has like all those fancy features, but it's also can be used very generally and you don't have to explore all those features. Maybe you want to start like very easy. So for an example, we're going to go into Canva images. So Canva has an assortment of photos and images that you can use for your designs. We're going to use the example of flowers. So we go on to elements and we search up flowers. You're gonna get so many different variations and designs of flowers. But maybe you were looking for like a wreath, right? And as you're searching, you come up and you find one that you like. I'm trying to find the one that I have on the screen right now. Um, but okay, I couldn't find it, but just it's okay. We'll go ahead. Say this is the one that we really liked and we want to see more like it. You're gonna go ahead and press on the three dots and it'll give you more words associated with that image, like floral, frame, circular, border. Okay, so what we're gonna go do is we're gonna go ahead, floral, frame, circular, border, and it's gonna create more graphics that are very similar to the one that you had, and that way you don't have to go and scroll through the other ones. What Canva also has is images that look, it also has magic recommendations. So you can just click on here and it'll give you even more that look even more similar to what you're looking for. And then here we have an image. So these won't be, some of these, they can change color, but Canva also has some that are vector files that do change color and you can change them to your branding. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to design templates. So for design templates, you're gonna find this on the left over here. And this presentation was not created via AI, but we can create one with AI. We're gonna go ahead and use a description of create a presentation for a food small business. So when you want to use AI, they have to be more than 5 words. The description has to be more than 5 words. And you'll find some results that are already pre-made presentations or that are created via AI. So these two right here are created via AI and you can change them to fit your branding. So if you have your color palette and your fonts already in Canva, you can create presentations that easily fitting your brand guidelines. So we want to do this one. We're going to see results and you'll see that all of these presentations would work with like our CIELO marketing. You can also add images. So say I want my CIELO logo to be incorporated into these presentations. I would choose the file of my logo, insert it, and it would generate that presentation using that template. Again, there's also pre-made designs that you can use. And for the last tip and trick, say you don't have any of your brand on Canva uploaded, but you have like a picture of your color scheme. This is like your branding colors. You can always implement those colors into any designs that you have already pre-made by clicking on the 3 dots and then choosing apply colors to the screen. So there's only 2 colors currently on this screen, so it'll only apply 2 of the colors, but you can always switch and play around with which version you like and which colors look better. So those are all like the tips and tricks. There's definitely a lot more tips and tricks that you can learn from Canva, and there's a lot of great YouTube videos out there that you can learn from. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and move on to our prompt. So I also wanted to give everyone here the space to create something for your small business. So you can create an invoice template, or maybe you want to do a social media post or a QR code. So we're going to go ahead and for the next 10-ish minutes, we're going to go ahead and create something for your small business. And I'm here. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and let me know. And I'm here to support you throughout you creating that design. Or if you don't have a Canva account, right now would be the perfect time to create your own Canva account. So we're going to go ahead and allot the next 10 minutes for us to create something for our small business. And I'm going to go ahead and not share my screen so then I can kind of help around. Does anyone have like an idea of something that they want to create?
Mhm.
Okay, I can see the chat. A curriculum presentation. Okay. Invoices, a logo. Okay, yeah. And if you're feeling courageous, you can also share in the next 10 minutes, like maybe something that you did start creating. We know that 10 minutes is not enough time to have something very substantial, but I wanted to kind of give the time for you to start and to maybe create your Canva account and to get a head start for your small business. So Jamie says they want to create a calendar for the events they're supporting. Okay, awesome. Yeah, and if you need help creating an account, thank you, Jessica, for putting that on the chat. If you need help creating an account, we can also help create one with you. Alma le gustaría hacer un recibo para sus clientes, so Alma wants to create a receipt for an invoice receipt for her clients. Anna wants to do, I'm not sure what a carpeta is. Jessica, do you know?
It's like a profile, maybe like a flyer, Sería, Ana, sería como un boletín
A
para
brochure?
como promover su negocio. Sí,
Sí.
yeah, yes,
Okay, yes.
yes. Y
Yes,
ya ti,
go ahead.
okay. ¿Y tiene una cuenta? Do you have an account? And
Yes, I can show you, Monica, how to create a QR code. I can do that right now, actually. I'm gonna go back to sharing my screens. Everyone still continue working, but I'll go ahead and show how to create that QR code. So QR codes, again, will also be found under apps. So I'm gonna create a new, okay, let me do a blank one. And so you're gonna go onto apps and you're just gonna look up QR code. And there's a lot of different variations for QR codes. This one is very easy to use, very general. But there are also some QR codes that have color, that are like video generated, are dynamic. So there's different versions. For this one, we're gonna go ahead and click on this QR code, and all you have to do is insert your link. So say we want to do the CIELO community one. We just enter our link on there and it'll generate the code for us. It's super, super simple, super easy. Was that good, Monica? I think it was Monica who asked me that.
Yes.
Yes,
Pero no tengo URL, o sea, no tengo mi web todavía.
web, sí. Si tienes un Instagram o si tienes un Facebook, if you have an Instagram or a Facebook, you can use that instead.
Okay, thank you.
Is it possible that we could also use a QR code to put onto our business cards so they can like contact us easier for our website?
Yes, I think that that's a great tool. And I think in my example that I have here, this one has a QR code. It has for a discount, but it'll also be really good if it takes them directly to the website, and that way they can purchase more, like it's faster for them to purchase from your small business.
Disculpe una pregunta. Si yo creo mi logo, tengo mi cuenta en Canvas y ya tengo, es un ejemplo, y ya tengo escogida la forma como quiero que se vea, así como ustedes tienen lo de cielo para hacer los folletos, para hacer las invitaciones y todo. Hay una manera donde ya yo no necesito usar, por decir, más Canva porque ya creé todo lo que necesitaba para mi negocio. No me obligan a que yo siga pagando por manejar mis logos. Gracias.
Ujú. Nada más para clarificar, cuando creas tu logo en Canva y tú lo quieres seguir usando comercialmente, no tienes que pagar por seguir usándolo. ¿Es lo que me estás preguntando, Dani?
Sí, sí, sí,
Sí.
al haberlo hecho utilizando Canva y obviamente voy a escoger como lo quiero que los demás lo vean. ¿Necesito eso registrarlo en algún lugar para que nadie más lo copie o por haberlo hecho en Canvas, Canvas me cobra que yo tenga que pagar por decir anual o por haber usado el programa para estar promocionando mi negocio? Quizás
Sí.
estoy un poco confundida.
Ujú. Yeah. So what Danny is asking is if you create like a logo on Canva and then you start to use it commercially, will Canva like charge you for using your logo after you've kind of already created that logo? No, Canva cannot charge you to use your logo because you created that yourself, and they won't do any copyright ownership for your logo. They could potentially use it on their platform, but they won't charge you any money for that. Did I did I answer your question, Dani?
Gracias, Joana.
Sí? Okay. Muy bien.
I'm thinking that the question too, Joanna, might be like trademark, like
Yeah.
a trademark question. I
Yeah.
don't know how to translate it. Oh,
I
Alicia's
don't know
translate.
the 100% answer to that, but
We can look
I will
into
go
it.
I'll go ahead and look into it, and when I send the recap presentation and the video, I will make sure to have that question answered in that email so that you guys have access to that. Yeah, and if there's any questions that I may not know right now, I will definitely go ahead and insert them into that email in both Spanish and English. Since we only have like about 2 more minutes, does anyone want to share maybe something that they worked on? If not, no worries. But maybe if you want to kind of share, maybe we can give you some like feedback since you know there's a lot of us on here.
Solamente quiero hacer un comentario y obviamente agradecerles por este tiempo que ustedes nos dan. De hecho, yo había estado ya metida en lo de Canvas y ayudándome con el YouTube, que es muy bueno porque uno no tiene el conocimiento. Y pues me di cuenta de que habían muchas cosas maravillosas como las que tú nos estás mostrando, pero a veces nos cuesta un poquito entender porque al momento, a mí me pasó en lo personal que al momento de haberlo creado y haberlo escogido me cobraban como $60. Y pues me asusté, dije, o sea, ni siquiera estoy todavía con el negocio y estoy viendo mis costos y todo y pagar por un logo se me hizo un poquito caro porque ni siquiera me lo iban a imprimir, ni siquiera me lo iban a hacer, era como usando. Entonces, gracias por hacer este tipo de clases que uno no sabe que tiene que pagar mensual como un Netflix o no sé, cualquier otra cosa que estoy agarrando ahorita de idea y que te facilita como tener este Amazon Prime, tienes muchas más opciones. Gracias, Cielo, gracias, Joana, pues gracias por ayudarnos con todas estas cosas porque así aprendemos y como les digo, en lo personal yo me asusté porque dije, ¿cuánto voy a tener que pagar? Pero ahora ya me despejas de que pagando una membresía puedo seguir usando. Gracias, de verdad.
Muchas gracias, Dani, por tus comentarios. Aquí está Cielo para apoyarlos y apoyarlas como podamos. What Dani was sharing was that she had created Canva initially, and so she hadn't started her small business yet, and they were going to like charge her $70. But what she didn't realize is that you can do kind of a subscription and you don't have to pay all up front. So you can pay the $14.99 per month, and that can help support you in your entrepreneur journey so that you don't have to pay, we know how much paying $70 to $120 in one go, it can set us back as like individuals. But yes, as Jessica is saying in the chat, it just takes a lot of practice, and I wouldn't suggest, paying for the pro version all at once if you're very new to Canva. Just play around with the free version and get to know what features are in the free version for the time being. That way you can learn. And then when you feel a little bit more comfortable, because it takes practice. When I started using it, I was using it like very minimally, just the text, pre-made designs. Like I wasn't like making designs from scratch, or I wasn't using like the AI features. But again, as I practice and I continue to work with it, it enabled me to feel more comfortable and be able to create even more designs. Now I make videos using Canva. So I know that all of you can get there. We have time still for a few more questions. If anyone has any other questions, we are here to go ahead and like answer them. So if you have any questions, right now is the time.
I was just thinking also another thing you can do, what I've done before was, when you sign up for Canva, so you can sign up for a pro and you get that for 30 days.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I planned within that 30 days what I needed. And then 7 days before it's due, they will say, okay, it's almost 7 days, we have to start charging you. So then I cut it off then. So this
Yes.
little,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beating the system, right? We're gotta beat the system one way or another. That is a great idea. Thank you for sharing with us, Jason.
I have a question. When you're a new business starting out, what are some of the things that you would recommend that we create, like in addition to business cards, and like what else are standard kind of marketing documents that we should have?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and share my screen because the ones that I listed on the presentation here are, I think, like very standard. But I can also create another slide to add even more like standardized documents that you need as small business. So obviously your logo, your small business card, an invoice template. A lot of the small business that we work with don't always have their invoices ready. So I think that template is going to be very useful and handy when you are making those transactions happening. Letterheads, maybe a menu, your banners, if you're going to do pop-ups, because you want that brand recognition. But these here I think are really important, but I'll go ahead and create a more comprehensive, extensive one for you to have. that's a great question.
Thank you so much.
Can I say something real quick also?
Yes, Jason, go ahead.
So in terms of it, sometimes it depends on what type of business. Like a lot of times people want to jump in to get a website right away. You don't need a website right away. You got Facebook, you got Instagram. Use all your free stuff first,
Yeah.
until you get to a point where you really need a website, and then develop it. So that's so.
No, yeah, so that's a really good point, Jason. Right now TikTok is like growing, and that's where a lot of people sell their items. They have TikTok shop now, so you can link your small business on there. Instagram's also a great way. You don't have to have like your website or Shopify. You can have people DM you and you can sell your products through there. So as Jason is saying, if you're starting out, make sure that you kind of research what is free out there, or at a very low cost, so that you can leverage that for your small business. Any other
Can I make a comment?
Yes, go ahead, Monica.
Hi, I've been using Canva for a little bit, and thank you for your presentation. I could actually learn some stuff too myself still. But the PDFs, if you have forms that are PDFs, I'm sorry for all the background noise. If you
No
have
worries.
forms for all the PDFs, if you input them in Canva and you want to change those forms around, you can do it. It's really nice and really easy. Just a tip.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, as Monica was mentioning, you can insert PDFs, you can insert PNG files, and you can change them around. You can sometimes you have to pay to switch a PDF to a PNG or PNG to PDF. But Canva allows you to do that. I'm not so sure if you have to have the pro version for that. But I'll actually figure that out and I'll put it in the email of the recap email. But thank you for sharing again, Monica. Any other questions or comments? Because yeah, like for myself, I'm still learning on Canva. There's so many different features and so many different possibilities of working with the platform. So I'm also learning a lot. Carla said, look, Crystal, go ahead.
So I had
Yo
a
quise hacer
question.
la cuenta, pero me dice
Oh,
eso,
sorry.
que
Ahorita.
lo tengo que probar por 30 días. ¿Está bien si lo hago?
Si quieres, sorry, Crystal, I'm so sorry. Si quieres, sí, pero también primero fíjate el gratis, la versión gratis para que puedas ver cuáles son los útiles que lo puedes usar, y después cuando te sientas más, que sepas más de la plataforma, puedes hacer el de 30 días y ya puedes hacer más con él.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, so what I was recommending is, yes, when you're creating an account, it'll give you the 30-day free feature. I would say first just get to know the platform with the free version so that you don't get rid of those 30 days. And then once you feel more comfortable and you've already navigated the platform, go ahead and do the 30 days for free. And as Jason said, create all of the items that you needed to create for your small business. And then make sure to cancel so that you don't have to pay. And then Crystal, go ahead. I'm sorry, you were cut off.
It's okay. In regards to, I know you mentioned that that there's branding colors and fonts that you use in Canva. Does that naturally occur with you using the app, or is that something that you download and just use all the time?
Yeah. So the branding guidelines, we actually created them before working on Canva. So we kind of standardized, these are the fonts that we want CIELO to be recognized for. These are the colors that we'll be using. But you can create that branding guidelines via Canva yourself. So if you like look through all the colors and you're like, this is the color scheme I want to work with, you can also create those brand guidelines on Canva, but it's going to be more so yourself, like this is the font that I like, this is the font that goes with my small business. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for that question. Anita?
Un comentario también, Joana. Yo tengo Canvas y lo divido con otras personas. Tengo un grupo de trabajo y
Mhm.
en lugar de que pagues el total para ti solo, lo puedes dividir entre las diferentes personas y te sale mejor y es por un año.
Sí, muchas gracias. So what Anita was saying is you can
No.
have Canva and a Canva team. So you can share the subscription with a whole bunch of other individuals. I think it limits you to 10. I'll go ahead and confirm that and again put that in the email, but you can then split the cost among the 10 other individuals, and that way you don't have to pay for the entire thing on your own. But that's a great tip. Thank you, Anita.
No, I no say that they say Patricia. But
Okay.
what I want to asking is I try to it in the free,
Mhm.
but tell me for que lo coja por 30 días y tengo que poner mi tarjeta de crédito.
Yeah, just try skipping over it. I think you
Okay.
just have to like kind of exit out of that and then try again. Just
Okay.
so that it doesn't make you pay. Yeah.
Okay. Gracias.
De nada. Okay. Any other like last questions before we move on to the raffle? The exciting part for everyone here. And then Crystal, just to make sure that's not your for another question. That was for the previous one.
Oh, yes, sorry.
No worries. I just wanted to confirm. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the raffle. So one of the individuals here that was tuned in for the presentation will be receiving a 1-year paid subscription to Canva Pro. We're super excited to be able to provide that to one of you small business owners and one of your entrepreneur journeys, because we know that these costs can add up and we wanted to be able to support you in any way that we can. So Eric actually got everyone's attendance, and then do you want to share your screen? Or yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can go ahead and share my screen.
Okay, so we put everyone's name in this wheel, and then we're gonna go ahead and press on it and then see who is going to be the lucky winner.
Cool. I'll go ahead and get started with the raffle. Thank you for joining us this evening. Voy a comenzar con la rifa. Gracias por atender esta tarde. Bueno, buena suerte a todos. Good luck to everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Positive vibe. 1-year members. 1 year. Woo! Benita.
Okay, so congrats, Benita. We're super, super excited that we'll be able to support you with the 1-year paid free subscription. Felicidades.
Benita, yo me voy a contactar para poder procesar la membresía. I'll contact Benita to process the membership. Felicidades. Congratulations.
Okay, and so with that, that's like the end of our presentation. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I hope that you were able to learn something. I was able to learn something from some of you who share the tips and tricks that you have learned throughout using Canva. Thank you so much for sharing that with the community. If you have any questions, let me go ahead and share my screen. If you have any questions, my email is right here, jperez@cielocommunity.org. You can always send me a email and I'll go ahead and support you in any way that I can. If also you want to share your small business through our Instagram, send us a DM, send us pictures, and we'll post it on our story so that we can uplift your small business and be able to send over more followers, more supporters, people to purchase your items. And that's it from me. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.
Good to see everybody.
Bye.
Gusto
Thank
ver a
you. Good to
todos.
see everybody.
Gracias.
Bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Jessica.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Hasta
Alma.
mañana.
Bye,
Gracias.
Chelo.
Gracias.
Bye, Carla. Bye.